This week I've come to Canary Wharf, one of London's great banking hubs. The rewards for working here are enormous. But Christianity has some pretty stern things to say about riches. So how do bankers with a Christian faith reconcile it?
I think there's nothing wrong with making lots of money. And in fact, many of the most successful people in the UK who start companies, those are the people with the most money. And that's actually a good thing because they've provided jobs and so on for the country. But the key question is then, what do we do with that money? And if we keep it for ourselves and we end up with a situation which I agree is shameful where people are relying on food banks, then there's something wrong. I think that the temptation, sadly, for Christians is that we feel helpless. We feel, well, that's the capitalist system we're in. But as individuals, we can make a difference.
Now, how did you end up a banker? Because that's not your family inheritance, is it?
No. My father was a free church minister. His idea of a summer holiday was to take his young family Bible smuggling in Russia and Eastern Europe. So every summer he used to pack up his Austin 1800 with his children and visit Christians and give them books. And I didn't realise that's not how most people spend their summer holidays.
But why did you go on to be a banker?
I have to be honest and say that money was not without its attractions. But money can easily become an idol. And I think as a Christian, the sort of central place in our life must be God.
Has there been any change since the crash? From the outside, it seems to us as if life has gone on much the way it always has.
I think in 2008, lots and lots of people, probably including me, were climbing the greasy pole, and then suddenly the pole disappeared. And people realized that basing your life on money was a really fundamental mistake and an illusion. One of the hardest things, to be honest, is admitting you're wrong. And that also probably applies to the city as a whole, that we've also got to seek forgiveness because what we did to society wasn't good, and we've got to learn from our mistakes and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Above all powers, above all kings, above all nature and all created things, above all wisdom and all the ways of man, you were here before the world began. Above all kingdoms, above all thrones, above all wonders the world has ever known, above all wealth and treasures of the earth, there's no way to measure what you're worth. Crucified, laid behind the stone, you live to die, rejected and alone like a rose, trampled on the ground. You took the fall, thought of me above all. Crucified, laid behind the stone, you live to die, rejected and alone like a rose, trampled on the ground. You took the fall, thought of me above all, like a rose, trampled on the ground. You took the fall, thought of me above all.
That's almost it for now. Next Sunday, we'll be meeting a man on a world record-breaking mission to play every cathedral organ in the UK. And there'll be music from the award-winning singer Eddie Reader. But for now, time for our final song.
Listen together. I hope is built. I hope is built on nothing. Jesus' blood and righteousness. I did not trust the sweetest frame, but only trust in Jesus' name. Christ alone. Christ alone, cornerstone, we made strong in the Savior's love. Through the storm, He is Lord, Lord of all. When darkness seems to hide His face, seems to hide His face, I rest on His unchanging grace. In every high and stormy day, my anchor holds within the veil. My anchor holds within the veil. Christ alone. Christ alone, cornerstone, we made strong in the Savior's love. Through the storm, He is Lord, Lord of all. Get together when He shall come with trumpets sound. When He shall come with trumpets sound, oh may I then in Him be found, dressed in His righteousness alone, upon that stand before the throne. I stand before the throne. Upon that stand before the throne. Christ
Coming up at 6:30, Countryfile visits Somerset and meets the people affected by last year's floods. Next though, film fantasy with Shrek 2.